It's time for the Loco Sports Lowdown. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and Max Araj. Hey, Loco Sports fans. Welcome to the Loco Sports Lowdown on a Friday night. Welcome back to the Lowdown. We took a couple nights off. Oh, our friend just blipped out right before we started, but he's here. Kevin Libby is with us. Justin Jarrett, Max Araj, Wes Kerr, who is en route from Bridges Prep, and Kevin Libby joining you on the Friday night Lowdown. And much to talk about. We took the last couple of nights off. Kind of slower nights on the schedule, and we all needed a breather. I certainly did. Crashed out on the couch early both nights and caught up on my sleep a little bit. So, but good to be back. Good to be back out in the gym tonight. I got over to a couple places. I got out to the Ville to support our boys who played a tough Woodville Tompkins team and came up short, but had to go check them out. And then got over to Hilton Head Christian Academy to the Cage for the second half of that doubleheader, where Hilton Head Christian gave them all they wanted, but Hilton Head Prep pulled away late and got the dub. But on the girls' side, some history. Hilton Head Prep beating Hilton Head Christian for the first time in 10 years. Big congrats to Phil Hartman and Courtney Campbell, who I think had like 26 out of 47 or something like that for them. She's getting some support, but she's still the alpha. Huge win for them, though. They haven't beaten them in a long time, so that's cool. We'll have an update on a bit of an update, I guess, just more of the same on the Coach Fish situation at Cross. We'll discuss that a little later, and whatever else comes up. But Wes coming in from the what's that? Oh, all right. Stricklander just told me, just posted our box scores and stats on Max Preps for basketball. Show went live, but I'm about to turn off, he says. So sorry for the distraction. But, Wes Kerr coming back from Bridges Prep, where you had a couple good games tonight, JP2 against.
I will say that I expected more from the Bridges Prep boys. I really did. And credit to JPU for the start. They scored the first 13 points or so and kind of took Bridges out of their rhythm in this game. But Marion Wilson was able to find some things as it went along. And, man, his height and his dominance in the paint was a problem at times. And he shot the three ball pretty well in addition to that. But unfortunately for Bridges Prep, they didn't have much else, and they kept turning the ball over. Just unsustained offense, and JP2 was great in transition. They got some good offensive rebounds and were able to make some timely buckets, a lot of layups as it went down the stretch. Bridges Prep had some chances. The lead hovered around 5-6 a couple of times in that second half, but Bridges Prep just couldn't hit the shots or really have the effectiveness on offense to get any closer. So JP2 kind of buckled down defensively and opportunistic, got a couple of nice buckets in transition, and also just played a little bit better, closer to the opponent's basket, and was able to convert some layups as we went down the stretch. But Marion Wilson was outstanding for Bridges Prep, as we have seen throughout his tenure there. But Nikolai Atkinson, Daniel Godson with some nice performances for a balanced JP2 side. They got some hard-working guys on that group. They're deep, and they play with a ton of hustle. So I'm really impressed with JP2. I did expect a little bit more from Bridges Prep, but they hung around. They made the game as it went down the stretch. It's just really not enough. Turned the ball over a little bit too much in this one, but I believe QJ Young, they stopped the game. It was the first bucket of the game for Bridges Prep, and I believe he hit 1,000 points. He's a senior, so it would make sense that he was the guy who eclipsed the 1,000-point mark, number 5. So congratulations to him. And good to see that. Always nice to see you get yourself 1,000 points at home. But Bridges still has, they have a good decent core with Marion, as well as PJ Capers having himself a nice game with 13. So you expect Bridges to be in the mix over there in what should be a really fun region in two-way basketball. But for JP2, what a start that they have had this year, and I'm continually impressed by the depth that they've built and the overall grit that they've played with.
Yeah, they're definitely stepping up, and I'm not going to say I was surprised they won that game tonight necessarily, but I wasn't sure which way that game would go. I've seen enough of Bridges that to know that like when they're in a track meet or a scrap, a dog fight, like they're pretty good. But when they get up against a team that's really organized and plays good team basketball, they have a little trouble. They play a little more kind of like the old Faber teams at Jasper County. They just
Yeah.
play chaotic
And
and
they hit some shots early. The,
drive.
the the difference was the first 5 minutes. They just were ready to go. Bridges Prep wasn't at that level, and they
Flat-footed.
built
Yeah.
a 10, 15 point lead early. And Bridges kind of played them even for the most part of the rest of that game, but just couldn't overcome that slow start. But give credit for JP2; they're ready, they're prepared, and they knocked down some long range shots. Started off, and as you said, just played good fundamental basketball.
Mhm.
And I'm excited to see where they go from here. Obviously, you're playing a very tough classification, but they're going to be competitive against some solid teams this year. Max, I'm sure you can agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great win for JP2. I mean, they're going to be competing in that 4A region. Of course, we've mentioned before that 4A basketball at Skis is a totally different level than 3A. So, to see them get a win against what is a good Bridges Prep team, and a Bridges Prep team that will be in contention in their own region this year, it's a good sign to see out of JP2, and it shows me that they, as a team, are going to be able to compete at the 4A level this season, at least within their region. I don't know what it'll be like when they get to playoffs, if they get to the playoffs, but I think within the region they're going to have a fun and competitive year, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting. And like we said, this is a JP2 team to definitely keep an eye on as the season continues, because they look really good. And from what you saw Wes tonight, and what we've seen so far this season, that JP2 team is a team to keep an eye on, and a really solid looking team.
Max, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, look at specifically on JP2, they have two seniors. They got Nikolai Atkinson and Dante Aiken, and that's it. And they just beat a really good tandem. Talking about QJ and Amari, and like that's a really good tandem that's been together for a long time. Admittedly, that's a team that can't play defense well together. They don't press, but that's a statement win. Atkinson and Aiken going out strong. Pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, big time. Girls got to win as well, 62-25. We do have Wes's highlights queued up, but Wes, are you going to be home to join us a little later in the show to talk us through the highlights, or?
Go ahead. I still about a half an hour out, so
Not too far. I'm sure we'll still be on.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll still be on. We'll check those out a little bit later, but we'll tell you about some other stuff going on around the Loco. As I said, I was over at HHCA, our presenting sponsor tonight, Mickelson Law Firm, our original sponsor and our all-star sponsor. They'd love company as an all-star sponsor, by the way. Jump in there with them, Come on, let's get you in there. Mickelson Law Firm can serve all your legal needs. They're right in downtown Bluffton. They're our official real estate closing attorney and presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. And unfortunately, it was a tough night for the Eagles tonight, but the cage was rocking. It was some kind of Christmas-themed thing. They were sweeping up a lot of paper that had been some sort of snowflakes or something, and we had the Eagles and the Dolphins, so it was good times. In the cage, packed house as usual. I should give it a little volume, just for character. Yeah, ambiance. you want to feel the ambiance of the cage. So it was tight. Hilton Head Christian actually had a 2-point lead at halftime, up 21-19. They got hot from 3 in the second quarter and pulled ahead. But Prep locked down on D in the second half, only allowed 12 points. Pulled away for 50-33 win, but you can see there, not sure who was getting to the rack that time, but Ethan Foster played well for Hilton Head Christian. Jake Wood knocked down a couple of huge threes to give him the lead in the second quarter, but and then Finn Usry had one really nice Euro into the lane and stretch finish that was beautiful. But there you see the 3-pointer from Connor Campbell. The soup was cooking. in the second half. That man hit a couple of threes. He hit another bucket. He hit an and one. He just kind of took over the game in the third quarter, and they started to ease away. And then Hilton Christian just didn't have any gas left in the tank in the fourth. But I have to say, I echo what others have been saying on our shows about the direction of that Hilton Christian program is very good right now. They're really bought in. They're playing the right style for the personnel, and they're executing it well. They just didn't quite have enough firepower tonight to hang on, but they played with them for the better part of the game. That was almost a finish that time, but he did finish one nicely.
I mean, it's funny because they kind of play that helmet prep style basketball, pass the ball around, find an open man.
Yeah, I mean, it was dreadfully boring tonight. It was like a minute and a half per possession before they would shoot.
Yeah, I mean that's the style you kind of want to see Chris County play. Oh wow!
Right.
Look at that
play! What a play!
Look at these boys hyping him up, gassing him up, gas him up, boys.
Yeah,
gas
JJ,
him up. That was sick.
I gotta call Connor. He's like the pencil sharpener out there because his hair is on point.
He's fluffy up top.
I mean, look, this Chris County team, they're young, so give them another season or two, and I think I don't know what kind of firepower they'll have 2 seasons out from now, but
yes, who swiped that?
I have a feeling they'll be okay.
But they missed the finish.
They're missing. The one thing I think they're missing is a bit of height.
They do not have a big. They don't have a big.
I think if you have a big on that team, it could be something different.
I mean, look at that man, 24, trying to post up.
Yeah, that's a
Sheen.
problem.
Come on.
Yeah.
Good feet.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley is 6'6".
HHCA plays tough D though, man. They're quick with their feet. They defend the perimeter really well. They made Prep work for it tonight, especially in the first half. They kind of paid the price for it in the second half, I think. And that's what Prep does to you. They wear you down, and they make you run and run and run and run. And then the fourth quarter comes, and you got no legs. And then they start hitting all those back cuts, and you leave men open for threes, and they just don't miss. There's Connor Campbell again.
I like the Prep super fans, man. They were in it.
Oh, yeah.
On the road.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Air ball, who's your daddy? Was the chant right there. Who's your daddy? Yeah, they were. Wyatt Harmer's the leader of the bunch, too, the quarterback.
Yeah.
He's the ringleader. The quarterback who's also goes to a tennis academy. You don't see a lot of those.
Yeah.
That's a not exclusively on Hilton Head, but almost type thing.
The country club quarterback.
Oh! I think that's Brennan Moore, right? During that one. But, man, they got so many guys who can shoot.
Yeah,
that's more him on that one.
They're going to mow down. They're going to mow down through the region this year. I mean, they are 100% state title favorites anyway. So,
Harpering's nice. He was a little off from 3 tonight. He went 3 for 10. I saw him shoot several from the corner, which is the toughest shot on the court. Corner 3.
Corner 3.
Just off. Corner 3. Any situation other than double dribble, it's the toughest shot on the court. But in double dribble, it's automatic. Corner 3. But Harpering had 22 still when he couldn't get a shot from 3. And Campbell had 15, most of them in the second half, and most of them huge. He also had 6. They each had 6 boards. And then that was kind of it offensively. They really limited the other guys. They defended the 3 really well. Prep was 5 of 24, which is way out of sorts for them.
Yeah, it is.
So Christian defended that very well. And was right in the, I mean, they did everything they needed to do to be able to win that game. They just couldn't do it for 4 quarters. Prep's just a little better than them right now, but they look like a baby brother. The way they play is very similar.
They really do. It's fun to watch. I think that the downside for them right now is, again, 4A. They're playing 4A basketball this year.
Yeah.
I just don't.
But we don't got to worry about all that. I mean, they are what they are tonight.
Yeah, they are what they are. But I do like the direction they're going. it's a coaching staff that they have a coaching staff now that they can trust. You know, the last couple seasons since Grunkemeyer left and moved back up north, you know, they didn't really have a coaching staff, you know, that was I don't know how to put it. It just
it was
wasn't
transitional. It was
Yeah.
transitional, and everybody knew that.
Yeah, and so you now have, and that was the biggest thing because you had the talent last year with Christian Academy, but you had a transitional coaching staff that just couldn't get the job done. Then you had a few incidents with the basketball team as a whole, but now you got a coaching staff, you know, a very young team, so you're able to grow that team and make them something worth your while. And I think they're gonna be someone, you know, to keep a close eye on 2 seasons out from now, because I think they don't have a senior on that team. None. No seniors whatsoever. I mean, that's how young this team is. It is juniors, sophomores, and freshmen on this team. You know, so it's going to be really fun to see this team grow the next 2 seasons or so.
Yeah, man. It's going to be interesting. It would seem JP2 would have a pretty good edge on HHCA on paper right now. But it'll be interesting to see them match up, you know, because that's
2
big
different
rivalry, and HHC's kind of had their number, so you know JP2 wants some blood.
They're going to want it. Yeah.
That should be a couple of great games, those matchups. We'll get later on the season. Not sure the dates of those, but I want to talk more about that Hilton Head Prep girls team, because that was a historic victory for that program. That has always been, you know, second best to Hilton Head Christian Academy over the years. And yes, I know the Eagles lost who they lost. The core of that team, who of course orchestrated them to a state title last year, gone. But I mean, they beat them by 10 the first meeting. Christian Academy did. And did we get a final? Did you? I don't know if we ever announced the final for that game.
What's that?
What the
Which
score
game
was for the Prep Christian girls game?
Yeah.
What was the final?
Oh, I don't know what the final was.
Okay, we don't have a final. Okay.
I do know that Prep won.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I don't
I mean,
know the
that's
exact
score.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking through during timeout. You say it was 10 years ago. Around, because I saw, like, the last game I saw that Prep beat Christian girls was January of 2012. So it's been a while. No matter
I
what.
know it was Phil who told me it had been 10 years.
Okay.
So maybe it's been more
the score possibly may have not put on max preps, but that was the last game I saw. Which, regardless, that's a long time since we have seen that result happen. So, and you know, Courtney Campbell, it all revolves around her, and what a stud she is.
I think you're right. I think it would have had to be before that.
Yeah.
Because I remember when Kenny Conroy went to Hilton Head Christian, and I remember when they beat Hilton Head Prep for the first time, and that was a big, big deal because it had been Sulik.
That was when the power was shifting.
Yeah, but maybe they didn't quite get them until after I left the packet in 2011. I thought they had,
the last date I saw was January 31st of 2012.
Yeah,
we'll have to have Stricklander dig into that.
Yeah, someone will have
to dig into that. I should know.
Use his Skiza historian powers to cover that.
Yeah,
but
I'm
big
sure there's some bookkeepers that can help us, or some stat wizard that can assist us with this. But regardless,
Bob Sulik probably knows the date of the first time that Hilton Head Christian beat him by heart.
You guys want to play a game?
What's that? Yeah,
I got a game if you want to play it.
Yeah, let's play a game.
All right. About 10 years ago, I was calling a game back when the Skiza officials only had 2 officials. So when Kenny Conroy was on the sideline, he didn't realize that with 3 officials on the floor, they move different. Everyone knows that now. I ran close to full speed directly into Kenny Conroy. The game is, who fell down?
I'm going to say Kenny Conroy fell down.
No, I'll call you, Kev.
But on the other hand, Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Who fell down, Kevin?
I hit the floor with a full tumble. Now understanding the coach's box and Skiza was a very different thing. But the bigger lesson for me was that I'm an enormous man. And if I run into one of his girls at the scorer's table checking into a game, I have a much bigger problem than being embarrassed in front of Coach Conroy. So shout out Kenny for teaching a young official how to hit the deck.
Oh Lord. I would have thought that, well, I guess you wouldn't have seen him coming, or you wouldn't have hit him, right? So yeah.
I was the center official calling the foul shot.
Kenny may not be the biggest dude, but he'll knock you over if he has to, man.
He's got a low center of gravity.
It's before his heart issue, so he had a foot in the ground and he knew what he was doing. And Kenny Conroy knows how to make a point. Call him the pencil sharpener.
That he does. Good stuff. Our friends over at Beaufort's Own had some broadcast tonight. And before we get to that, apparently the JP2 guys in the comments on Instagram think we're dogging them or something, but like, we're showing respect. Like, we think y'all are good. I don't know what you're hearing. You're hearing something that's not being said. But Wes, also Cole Trott wants to know if you remember that he fist bumped you after the game.
Yeah, I didn't realize who it was, but hey, yeah.
There you go.
Congratulations to the Gold Warriors. I am quite impressed by what JP2 is doing. Both and the girls looked really good as well tonight. They dominated for the time I watched. They ran away with it in the second half. And so give credit to that girls program. Karen Floyd's a great coach, doing it again over there for the Gold Warriors. And then the guys, like I said, I'll say again, excellent start. They got on top from early, hit some shots. And
Wes is getting into the nether regions.
And they took out Hilton the prep early. Yeah, watch out for the Gold Warriors. They are a strong unit. They're going to be a tough team for anyone to play. I don't care how good they are. You're going to get battle from JP2 when you go up against.
I think we'll put this in perspective so people kind of know where we stand. Monday we'll unveil the Lowco power rankings. Give me your top five. Your top five boys and your top five girls, or should we go deeper than that? I think five's enough. Top five boys, top five girls. I think we got a pretty
decent sample size.
Turn in your ballot and let's unveil. I think we
got a pretty decent sample size as of now. Could you give a little first look?
I think so. Yeah. You got enough to use the transitive property and play around with that and come up with an idea to start with. So let's do that Monday.
Who's a better watch than Amari and QJ? Like, I understand that maybe I was disparaging about the team defense around them, but it's one of the most entertaining teams to watch in the Lowco.
No, it was the JP2. It was the JP2 people who thought we were dogging on.
Oh, because I call them young? They're young.
I don't know why I honestly don't know. I don't know what they were hearing, but
by young, it's a compliment. We mean that you're only going to get better, and so when you're an upperclassman as a senior, you're making your statement, your legacy.
I think the only thing that maybe they were picking up on is that we were saying, like, how well will they compete in 4A? But that's not a diss on them. That's just like you're playing in, like, that's the big boy league. Like Portergout and Pinewood and them are like legit. And if they can make a run in that, then that really, really says something. But I think they've already shown that they're good for the area. They beat Prep 1 out of 2. They just beat Bridges, which is 5th in Class 2A, which, again, I'm not sold Bridges is the best team in that region. I think Hampton is better. But, if we were unveiling our top 5, they're going to be probably in the top 5 right now. And that's although you start thinking about it, it's going to be tough to crack it because you got Prep, you got Hampton, you got Bluffton, you got May River, you got, it's
maybe we'll find out some more because we have some games tomorrow. We have some games on Monday. So there's still more data to be collected, I guess, with some of these teams. So I'm excited to kind of see more so where these teams are and how consistent these teams are because we have a couple more of these Lowco-on-Lowco kind of games, including an interesting one against Whale Branch tomorrow. And that's the team. We haven't talked about Whale Branch.
Yeah.
Well, Branch is 4-2. They're gonna be the team to watch.
They
At least
lost. The boys lost tonight to Battery
Creek,
Creek pretty handily.
which is
Handily.
another team
It's-
that
Creek
deserves
is
some consideration. Yeah,
well,
that's a
Creek's probably they might be the number one team right now. I don't know. I mean, if you just look at the body of work, them boys
right.
are putting it on
Yeah,
everybody,
they
and
definitely
except Alva.
deserve. You know,
Like,
I just from first glance they deserve a spot, but even so, just going back to that Bluffton game, I mean, that's one you. If you're looking at Bluffton, that's when you got to take care of business. I'm not saying Whale Branch. I mean, Whale Branch can sneak up on them. I think that they could make it a game.
yeah,
I like Bluffton to win it, but I'm still intrigued by what could happen in a game like that and how it could affect the rankings. So that's going to be interesting. And we got a couple more games to keep an eye on these next few days that could kind of shake up what we figure as the top 5 teams. But this it's still very early, and this is the type of year or the time of year where these teams are starting to feel themselves out and where they need to improve upon. And it's kind of cool to see them go up against so many of their fellow Lowco rivals, but also friends in a
yeah.
sense.
Well,
Wes is making a great point.
I love the power rankings for basketball more than the other, and that's the sport where we started doing it the first place
Yeah,
because there's so much variability. It's not like
right.
football. Like by midseason, you kind of know what the power rankings
Yeah,
are, and they're
there's
not
not much
really gonna change
shifting
much.
at that point, but
But in
basketball you get a lot more
basketball,
matchups. There's you play twice, maybe sometimes 3 times a week, and you get a lot more opportunities to kind of have shakeups and you get shakes in football too, but there's just a lot more things can happen. I feel like, and basketball. What do we got here?
we got an update. We just got a final. South Florence,
Wow.
down west side.
Congratulations to
Holy
the Bruins,
cow.
your state champions in 4A South Carolina School League football. And man,
Wow.
it is
Looky
a good
there.
time to be a Sellers kid, whether it's the North Sellers at South Carolina or Baby Sellers, who just won
The
himself
seller's
continued
market,
tradition.
baby.
Man, and they beat a really good team to win that
Yeah,
title.
they did. I really didn't think they could pull that one off. It puts in perspective that first half that Hilton had played against them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they went toe to toe with them for a half.
Yeah,
Did
toe-to-toe with
everything they
state
wanted.
champs, that's crazy to think about.
Hey, credit to the Seahawks. Big credit to the Seahawks. I mean,
Yeah.
you lost to the eventual champs and you played them tough.
Yeah.
I mean, what
Yep.
more can you ask if you're BJ Payne and the Seahawks team? So just gives more padding to what they did this year and how they competed this year. It's got to feel good to be a Hilton Head Seahawks fan just when you
Well,
encapsulate the season
you
in a
can
whole.
tell us, Wes. You don't have to say it's got to feel good like you don't know
It
what
does.
it feels like.
Right. But as a Seahawks fan, we've had some tough years. 2023, how many games do we lose that were decided like by a close margin? I mean,
That was
that
brutal.
was yeah.
It was
Hey,
brutal.
it's
Very
great
brutal.
to see. It's great to see this team, go on the other side of that and win some big games, win a playoff game, which we haven't done in a decade, and compete against the eventual state champions in 4A. So
Yeah,
yeah, good credit there. Big Seahawks.
Touchdown, Troy and Thad the Impaler.
Yeah, baby.
Well,
I
let me
just
shout out
love.
some sponsors. We got our MVP sponsors, starting with our apparel sponsor, baseball and softball themed apparel from Base Hit Life. Got some great hoodies. It is definitely hoodie season, even in the Loco now. It's probably like coat season everywhere else, but it's hoodie season here.
Hey,
in Loco. Look at
Sorry.
look at Max. He's got his Calm Your Mitts shirt on right now, keeping him warm all winter in the Loco, and he's living his best base hit life with basehitlife.com. We've also got homegrown home inspections, best home inspectors in the Loco. Can't buy a home without them. And if you're building a new home, you got to have that phased inspection. They'll check on it every step of the way and make sure it's built right with homegrown home inspections. Hospice Care of the Low Country, helping folks at the end of life with palliative care, hospice care, free grief counseling, and much more at Hospice Care of the Low Country, where it's not about dying, it's about living. And Also, the USCB Center for Low Country Hospitality Education, headed up by our friend Coach Beach. They provide all kinds of cool services, including the Ambassador Program, Island Ambassadors, and Bluffton Ambassadors, where you can learn more about the place where you live and what makes it great and why people want to come here and become an ambassador through the USCB Center for Low Country Hospitality Education. You were saying, Kevin Libby, were you saying something?
Is Diamond Dallas Page the one that had like this was the diamond, or was it like this?
Yeah.
Like this? All right. Shout out Jimmy Desmond. How you doing there, buddy? Jimmy Diamonds.
Jimmy
Always
Diamond.
solid.
That's what you were saying. Jimmy Diamond. Yeah. He's the man. I miss him. So I used to get to see Jimmy Diamond every week because we were in BNI together. But then he got too busy as the CEO, and he had to leave BNI. And then I went to teaching, so I had to leave BNI. So now I never get to see Jimmy anymore, and it makes me sad. But he's good people.
I have the Hilton Head Prep Christian Academy score.
Oh,
hey,
basketball. Excuse me. Final score: Prep 43, Hilton Head Christian 39.
All right.
So close
game.
game.
In the 40s.
Yeah. Courtney Campbell leading the way. Sensational season.
Yeah, I think she had like 26.
Yeah, 26. That is not surprising. She has been the focal point, and she's just such a hard player to defend because her passing ability, and when she gets her shooting going, she can perform like no other around here. So, Courtney Campbell, and just love that for her and for this program because she's had her not to say personal struggles because she's always been good, but like in terms of the team, she hasn't had much around her, and so just really feel good for her that she's been able to stay with it, stay the course, continue to shine, and now when she gets even a bigger opportunity with the supporting cast has improved, she has taken even more strides forward and has become a complete player and a player that can lead your team to win like this. So, outstanding job, Courtney Campbell and Hilton Head Prep. That is a win you can build a historic season off of. That was the dragon you wanted to slay that got them, and now you can build off that as you get ready for the rest of the year in a 3A classification where I think you have a real chance now. That might be the win you remember at the end of the year that really helps them turn the corner as we go throughout the season.
I love it. Wes is already writing a narrative. I love it.
Can I tell a story too? Can I jump in? So I'm with you, Wes. By the way, if anyone out there is watching that's a fan of Wes Kerr, he's a dramatically better writer than he is as a broadcaster. So if you're a fan of his broadcasting,
yes, he is.
I mean that's a compliment, Wes, because even though you're a tremendous broadcaster, the audience might not realize that your writing is impeccable. I have a very brief story about my second year playing basketball. Third grade, I was a tall kid, and I learned how to shoot a layup. Fourth grade, I had a kid playing ball for the first time named Tony Bonfiglio. In Irish Catholic town, a guy with that Italian of a name is kind of a target. Tony Bonfiglio was about 4'4", while I was a mounting 5'6". So I learned how to.
Were you and John Mulaney ever on the same basketball team?
Don't make jokes. Careful. That man makes too much sense to me. So I'm rebounding for Tony Bonfiglio, who just doesn't understand you got to get the ball up to shoot a jump shot. You're too short. Get the ball up to shoot it. And he's underhanding it like, it's 1973 and he's shooting a free throw. So we played 6 games that year. Tony doesn't score the entire season until game 6, where I get a rebound off a bad shot from some kid who shoots terribly. I show it out to Tony, who raises up, avoids a defender, and drops a 6.5-foot jump shot.
Nice.
It's my favorite memory of the game, in spite of great success later in life. And my point to that is to say that Cece Campbell has been that role for so many kids on this team. And the fun thing about calling her, for me, has never been her talent or ability, but her leadership. And it's so flattering to watch someone go out there and see all of her teammates. Keep in mind, she's the only senior on that team. It is her and her funky bunch. She's like Marky Mark out there. And she's absolutely fantastic. And everyone, you don't have to like Mark Wahlberg, okay? But her teammates do. She's like the TV show, Everyone's Got a Turtle. But the fact is, she's Vinny Chase, and she can do whatever you need her to do in performance. That's an Entourage reference for the youth out there. It's probably not a good show to watch, but it was produced by Mark Wahlberg. Boston,
Entourage
guys.
started
Boston.
out great. Started out great.
And then didn't. Yeah.
Faded really, really strongly into oblivion, but really did start out great. But no, that's one of the things that's always impressed me about Courtney is no matter how many times people dropped the pass, she always made the right pass. And because eventually they were going to catch it, and she knew that was her job, was to help them connect that dot. Throw it as many times as you got to throw it for them to learn to catch it. And, she's bringing the kids along and I wish them the best success. So here's an update on the lead story from our last show. Hello, kitty cat. We told you about Coach Fish. We had Coach Fish on to tell his side of the story. Yeah. There hasn't been a change. I was told about a meeting with the players where they directly asked if there was any chance of Coach Fish coming back, and they were told in no uncertain terms, no, he won't be back. They still have not played another game. They forfeited last night against Bluffton, and they forfeited today at Curtis Baptist, which was the state championship rematch game. And what has been interesting to me to note is that those games were all on their schedule on Max Preps, and then they all disappeared. And now the Curtis Baptist one is back as a forfeit, but it was there earlier tonight and then it was gone and now it's back. So someone's removing those games, and I don't understand what's going on there. I mean, it is what it is. We know what's happening. That's not the move, but that's the update on that. Is there's no movement, and there doesn't appear to be any insight. So I know that people are exploring their options. It's semester. You can transfer it semester, especially from Skiza. We'll see what happens. There's only one.
You got to think about the future of the season at this point.
What's that?
They just got to think about the future of the season for Cross at this point. I mean, you just don't know what's going to happen from this point forward.
Yeah, and that's the scary part for them right now is, they don't have a team, and I completely, stand with them, because I think, you lose your coach, someone you've trained and grew up with as your coach for so many years, and,
Well, to be fair, they've only known him for a little over a year, but he's been that transformational for them. I mean, he took over a few games into the season last year.
But he's also coached them in club ball as well.
Yeah, but only for a short time. He hasn't been here for very long.
Even then, it is a.
But it was revolutionary what he did last year. What he did last year was absolutely revolutionary, and there was a lot of I mean, it was incredible how quickly they rose to the power that, or at least to the success that they had in the classification last year. And I was, really excited for what could happen with a chance to repeat. And now everything's in disarray. And I just feel for the players right now, because they had things going at such a great, position for that
That's
program. And now it's all an unknown now. We don't know what's going to happen with, you mentioned a transfer window coming up. So you just hope for these kids that things work out the best. I'd love to see, this team continue to play together. But now it's just, there's so many variables at play from this point forward. So you hope the situation turns out the best for everybody involved, and just, continue to hope that these young ladies get a chance to play this year, and would love to see them continue to play together at best. But
we're all with you.
Far from fluid right now.
That would be the best case scenario, but it doesn't seem to be realistic at the moment.
To Max, though, I gotta give Max a chance to walk something back. Max said they don't have a team, and Max, you don't mean that. You mean that you want to see a team on the floor. They clearly have a team by their actions.
I would love to see a team on the floor, but if they're not going to play, they're not going to play. It's going to.
But do you hear what they're telling you by not playing? They're playing as a team, just not a basketball team.
They are being
Yes, that's my
the
point.
epitome
Kevin.
of a team right now.
Yes, sir.
I would
Thank
love
you.
to see this team playing again, but if they're going to stand together, they're going to stand together, and that's what a team does. And I don't have any problem with that whatsoever.
I don't either. I have a lot of respect, and Kevin, you had some words to say about it on the Marcus Wall show. You actually kind of brought it up toward the end and made sure that you guys discussed it. And I liked what you had to say just about the kids recognizing and exercising their power.
Yes, sir. That's the entire point. You are a political actor when you work together like that. And as John Lewis, Congressman John Lewis told me, he was the last surviving member of the 1964 March on Washington. That's the I Have a Dream speech from King. He was a 17-year-old of that speech. He told me that you use your body as a witness to the truth. This was a man who was talking about sit-ins and what it was like to be physically injured because of your beliefs. And if you're going to choose the thing you care about most, and that's your team, and basketball second, then you put the team first. And if the ladies think that's what they are doing by their actions, then everyone in this community will get behind that. It's a very difficult thing to be opposed to women who are intelligent and understand their power.
Amen, brother.
Amen.
Amen, brother Libby.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting thing, and but we do have people clamoring in the Instagram comments for these highlights from Bridges Prep. Wes, how close are you to home? We need an update on Wes's ETA before we can deliver those highlights. We need Wes to tell us what we're looking at, man. But in the meantime, let's check out some Whale Branch Battery Creek highlights. How about that from Buford's own? I think Wes might be. He just dropped out. I think he is connecting up. So I think we'll have Wes for the highlights soon. Let's hear some Tristan and Javon.
Yeah, they sounded so good tonight, JJ. What
like butter.
Like butter, baby. Wicked smooth. Call them butter. They're on a roll.
I didn't watch this game. Spoiler alert, I don't know who won, but maybe you do, Kevin. Maybe you were camped out tonight.
The Whale Branch Warriors won the girls' game.
Really?
Yes, they did. Very close at the end.
It was close last time. Remember,
I think it was a 4-point game to finish it off. I believe that was. I don't remember what the final score was. I was watching it briefly tonight. Watched the end of it, but yes, Whale Branch did win this one.
That's a nice job for them. They're young. They got an 8th grader who's kind of carrying the load right now, but
yeah,
they're going to be good again soon.
Well, the great thing is that
don't realize how good Whale Branch girls were for so long. I mean, they were a dominant force, for a number of years, and then everybody graduated, and there was nobody coming behind them. But now they're.
Well, the good thing is that 8th grader hopefully will be at Whale Branch another 4 seasons.
So, yeah, well, Mac has shown she can coach when she's got talent. She just hasn't had enough lately.
I would love to play for Mac. I think she's someone that loves ball.
I love her. She's miserable when it's going bad. I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, she's a winner. Yeah,
she can't stand to lose. But man, when it's going good, she is fun to be around.
Yeah, but she can also teach it. I think that's the real talent in terms of coaching. She'll let you know when you're bad, but also she'll let you know how to do it right. And there's a difference between telling you you're bad with no solution. And
sure, yeah. No, I just meant like she's. I know. I don't like to talk to her when they're bad.
Could you imagine, JJ? Could you imagine being
a pleasant person to talk to during the season when they're bad?
Could you imagine being a family member to Coach Mac on a down year?
No, we're good. I'm just playing, but she's a lot more fun to text with when it's going good.
Yeah,
she's a competitor.
She's a competitor.
Look at this; they got some talent.
Yep. I mean, this is coaching. You're seeing the offense. I get it was a turnover, but you're seeing the offense. It looks like they know what they're doing.
Right.
Easy bucket. Once again, running the offense.
Javon's watching. Oh, it's a good look. Didn't get it to go. Oh, nice board.
Board.
Strong with it. Oh, timeout.
Can we get the boys' commentary? I not to say I'm not the best at this, but I love hearing these two call a game, especially.
Oh, I
Oh,
didn't
they're
realize
great.
I had it
They're great.
muted. I could hear it on my end.
Thank you.
Creeks ball. Yeah, tough right there, and I know she wanted it, but you're shooting.
I didn't
guards
realize I
everywhere.
had
You
it
just pass
muted
the
in
ball
the
unless they
studio.
just run the ball up court.
Jones with a
Good
nice
shot.
three there.
I was listening to Tristan's buttery voice.
So smooth.
Jones with the
Fields taking her
nice three
time up
there.
court.
Jones, yeah, he's
that's
good,
the game
man.
that's been a little bit
Tristan's
off
gotten
is
so
three
good
ball
at
for both
that.
teams.
He really has. He got
Oh,
some soul to it.
he's
Wide
really
open three.
improved.
She can get
I
it with
love
the
listening
drop.
to him, man.
She
He's
can.
something else.
Took a break, scratch your head for a second.
Regine finds
There's
I mean,
Fields.
they're
Wes.
spreading
There he is. Yeah,
Everybody.
The
he's
people are
here.
clamoring for your
Good.
Bridges
Ooh.
prep
Hey, man.
highlights, but we're
Yeah,
checking
we
out
got
some
29
Whale Branch Creek
points.
first.
I want to say Virginia has at least about 12, 13 right now.
It's just nice to have people clamoring.
Uh-huh.
Taking her time.
I don't usually check the
Regine
IG
on
comments,
the
but
wing. Banks it in.
We are tonight.
Started a fourth quarter. As
Graham is
well.
where it's at now.
Thanks
But
for telling.
Regine.
oh, they
No
were
good.
worried about you. They were praying for you,
Rebound
Wes,
Cole
because
has
you
back to
disappeared.
Fields.
But
Regine,
they're
another
excited that you're
pull-up
back.
three. This time gets it.
I
To
knew what was
go.
going on. I knew when you
Harmony
disappeared, that meant you were
Fields
going to the
have
mothership.
Night. And man, when you want to talk about 360, this is
Look at
this
this,
is
Whale Branch.
resilience by Harmony Progene. This is great coaching, by Coach
Good
Cole.
shot.
And Jones and
Bang the
And you
three.
go from one game.
But Branch's coaching, you can really see how well coached this team is.
You can.
I
And you
mean, the
just heard
talent level's not there, but
yeah, and then they make you look
excuse me,
bad with the
Swastiki was there.
deal.
Swastiki three.
Oh,
Gets it in.
oh!
talk about
Good
talent
shot.
level.
What a shot.
Battery
Welcome
Creek
back here on
Bombers.
Buford's
But you see
own
a stack. How often do you see a stack in a high
Warriors
school game?
have
Not enough.
possession.
Both teams
No.
have
Down to
really improved
Khalees Fields
dramatically.
layup.
Yeah.
Good,
Really
and
improved. I
the
mean,
bucket.
these games were tough to watch last
Well,
year.
Madison Cheeks
I'm looking to see what Whale Branch will do tomorrow at Bluffton.
Yeah, that's an interesting matchup.
Yeah,
Oh, that is tomorrow.
yeah,
Ooh.
about that.
Jones
Myra's the best
three,
kid on the
banks
floor,
it in.
obviously, but I think Whale Branch may have a little more depth as far as just athleticism right now. I think Bluffton wins that game, but it'll be interesting.
I think it should be decided by less than
Jones
6
for
points.
three.
I think it should be a
Ooh.
very close game.
Man, Creek's shooting their way back in this
Four.
thing.
They cut it.
Out
They
of it.
cut it close, man. They cut it
Minutes
close.
left to go.
This is fun.
I'm
Regine
excited about the
driving
direction
in.
of this Whale
Layup.
Branch team.
Gets the touch
Absolutely.
this
And as
time.
we were noting
On a
before you
fast
came
break,
on, one of their
Dave puts
top
it
players
up,
is an
blocked by
eighth kid.
Regine pushing the tempo.
This girl here with the
Crossover.
ball, I believe.
Swastegi
The foul.
steals it. Down court pass to Days. Fields rushing back. Layup.
Ooh.
Good. And the
And
bucket.
one.
And to get back into it at this point,
This turned into a Donnybrook.
great finish. I think the
There's
start
no
of that
quitting
game
this
Don-
Creek team, man. This is a different kind of Creek team.
JJ, I had to Google that earlier. What's a Donnybrook?
Days has to sink it. and she
Donnybrook.
does.
It's derived. It's an Irish.
I don't know if
It's
she
a
tripped,
good
she fell
fight.
forward. I
Would
don't
you
know.
say it's a
brawl.
I don't know.
like a
It's
ruckus?
brawl. There was an Irish
Well, that makes it a
festival
three-point
called the
ball
Donnybrook
game.
Festival that
And
always
make it
devolved into a brawl. So it became known as a Donnybrook. My grandpa
Yeah,
always used to
well.
say that.
Yeah, that was the final score, I believe, 43-39.
It's a good
The
game.
final score of that game. Really fun to watch. I did watch a bit of it towards the end,
Well,
and then I didn't
we've
have time to
got
watch the boys game.
These people waiting all night. We got to give them these Bridges Prep
Yeah, let's
JP2
fire up those
highlights.
highlights
go.
because we got
But
a lot of them over
first,
there.
We got to tell them about our varsity sponsors. DDS Web
Yes.
Design builds, hosts, and
There you go.
maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, go to ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties, and they're helping us shine a light on the Lowco frontier and deserving teams and student athletes out that way. Dr. Ambrose Cole's our official chiropractor. He's at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. Great with the athletes. And if you're a wrestler and you want to take your skills on the mat to the next level this year, you got to get to Reverence Wrestling Club, the official wrestling sponsor of LowcoSports and presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. All right, boys, here we go. Here we go. Harmony Prejean, 8th grader. Fake post-game interview quote. I understand it now. You don't get that reference. I'm sorry for you, but I understand it now. We'll have to enlighten you one time during parting thoughts. But here we go, Wes. We're going to give you the floor. Tell us about these highlights. He was in Bridges Prep, new gym.
Bridges Prep, and it was a great atmosphere. Those Bridges Prep fans were packed in there, and just at the end of this ladies game, but JP2 feasting, forcing turnovers, and converting on them as the Golden Warriors pulled away from the hometown Bridges Prep Buccaneers. Well, excellent work there, close to the hoop there from the Lady Golden Warriors on the road, and they will get the job done and take this one on the road by a score of 62-25. So this was fairly, not too close, but it got in quickly. But here we go with the guys game, and once again, just excellent atmosphere, great turnout there by the faithful wearing the blue and white for the Bridges Prep Buccaneers. What a great gym this is. I was there for a while. This was the first basketball game.
Dude, the scoreboard is
very impressed.
The scoreboard's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a college scoreboard because you have the player numbers and the points and the fouls. Like you see that at college games.
So cool.
Not at high school games very much.
They also have a video board too.
The video board as well. Yeah, so I mean that college level atmosphere for sure in terms of.
Yeah, look at that scoreboard.
I swear, Marion feels like an 8th year.
Have you ever seen that at the high school level? It's that's pretty awesome.
Never.
That is really.
We've been covering Marion since before COVID.
Yes.
Yeah, he's been former Buford Academy Eagle. We have covered him for a long time, and he's still balling over there as a Bridges Prep Buccaneer.
I'll tell you what, though, his body looks great right now.
Yeah. As the three ball goes down.
His body looks
nice. It was 13-0. 13-0 over the Bridges Prep Buccaneers. A putback.
Nice pass.
There it is.
And cue the toilet paper. As 1,000 career points
1K for
QJ Young.
Good job, QJ.
That kind of sparked the Bucks rally.
Ooh,
Marion Wilson from deep.
Smooth.
Yeah. So it was like 13-0 now. Bridges Prep fighting their way back and trying to cut the deficit even closer. Your step back three is good.
3?
Marion Wilson.
That was a 3? Looked like he was closer in.
These guys are incredibly fun to watch, man. QJ and Marion spread the floor. Look at that shot.
That's a 3.
That's a no-doubter 3-point bucket right there for number 35.
Marion.
You're not tall enough to defend that 3. What a shot.
Oh. I mean, that's the shot he's going to have to play at the next level, and he's developing it. He's got it. So that was always the question because, I mean, what is he, like 6'5", 6'6"?
6'6".
That's tall in high school. It's not tall in college. And so
there's a wing difference there once you get to the
he can play on the wing with his body where it is now and the way he's shooting it outside.
You know what they say about that dunk, though? That's a man's jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Oh! Go back! Go back!
Can we get that again?
Yeah.
To be fair, he could have possessed the ball. He could have tipped it, but he took it. Fans, you're welcome.
But he went full Mutombo.
He said, not in my house, man.
No.
So he's wearing 35. I am named for Kevin McHale. You got to tip that up, keep the ball, and hit an outlet down. But still, what a beautiful block.
Swat it with some spin, tip it to yourself.
Yeah. Yep, outlet pass.
Kick out.
Sometimes you got to hype up the crowd too,
Yeah.
They're part of it.
They're a big part of it, and that gym gets hype. DJ with the straps. I was wishing he was going to be a part of the bucket, man. I love PJ. Big kid.
I like that Marion's wearing 35. For his generation, that's got to be KD, right?
Probably. Oh, nice bucket. Nice
So talk about a wing you want to be like, that's long and strong.
23's failing, yeah. He was bald last year. He got a full head of hair this year. He looked like he was in the military.
Bridges Prep flat in this game. They just couldn't produce a sizable enough run to really get themselves back in it. And credit for JP2, they hit a couple of important shots,
rebound.
especially
Good
towards the
luck.
rim as we got late in this one.
Nice finish.
Marion,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You're telling me they beat him tonight? Kid looks like this. They beat him.
Yeah, I know, right?
So just a 5-point game at this point, but JP2 continuing to respond and
buckets. No,
short there,
not
but
short.
yeah, they eventually were able to get themselves some clutch buckets late.
Great rebounds. Great rebound. Nice outlet.
Eyes up court. Giving yourself
There it is.
Create numbers. Nikolai.
Yep. That's good basketball.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Really good sequence. A lot of good, just little things in that.
Yeah,
sequence.
those add up. Doing well.
That's flex. Here he is. Nice spread. This is what this is what varsity level offense should look like. Yep. Look at that.
Yep.
More than just Hilton Head Prep can do this. These are bigger boys with better bodies.
Yeah, agreed.
Uh-oh.
Nice steal.
DJ.
Look at the team you beat. How do you beat a team like this at home? That's a huge moment.
You're not kidding, man. I mean, they are tough to beat in that building.
But JP2 just kept coming right back at him. When Bridges Prep got a little closer, JP2 found a way to respond, and that's what good teams do. They find a way to weather the storm, and that's a really quality win for the Golden Warriors on the road in a tough environment.
That's a good call right here from Devon.
Going to the Golden Warriors. Wilson's shaped like Slim Miles Garrett.
I tell you what. Tell you what. You telling me Amarion couldn't play tight end and be a monster?
Yeah. I mean,
Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Ben Coates.
Antonio Gates. You want to keep? I mean, LeBron James would have been the greatest tight end in the history of the NFL.
He could run, block, and run the seam. What else do you want, Gronk?
Wes ain't they said Wes playing favorites with the camera. It's all good though. Thanks for watching, Wes. No, that's just how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you just the ones you get, you don't get everyone that you shoot. Sometimes you miss it. Like it doesn't turn out right. And that's just how it happens sometimes.
Wes was under their court. I mean, Wes was underneath their hoop second half.
Yeah.
They were the home team. And that's a gym where you can't choose where you're going to be. Like, you're going to be where you're going to be, and otherwise you have somebody's seat.
You get what you get, man. I mean, that's the job. But we know what happened. It's all good. We got some good lights in there.
Real win. Statement win.
Sometimes you're trying to get the most flashy highlights. Sometimes it's a team that doesn't win. And that was kind of, Amarion Wilson.
Well, and that's, honestly, that's kind of what this matchup was. It was a team in Bridges that is flashy. They make a lot of highlights. They also make a lot of mistakes because they play risk reward. They play fast and loose. Whereas JP2 is a team that has become very disciplined to their system, and they play team ball. And tonight, Bridges Prep might have had more highlights, but JP2 won the game. And at the end of the day, that's what matters. So much love to JP2. We got y'all, boys. We got y'all. But if it helps motivate you to think they don't like you or something, then go with it.
I thought it was like one of those things, the silent night things that they they weren't, or one of those things where whoever scores the first points, you throw something. I didn't know it was 1,000 points left. They announced it, but like that was with no context. That was kind of funny. But yeah. Hey, but on that note, good for a guy who's been there for a while, senior. QJ Young, congratulations on reaching 1,000 career points, like I said earlier, and always awesome to see them do it, or to see someone do it at home. We've seen a couple of 1,000-point scores throughout the years, and that's tremendous accomplishment.
You guys remember when QJ broke his nose? So he played like all of his, I think his sophomore season in like a mask.
That was KJ Chisholm.
Oh my God, QJ, I'm sorry to you both.
Similar. Similar
JJ,
first
when do your
names.
ballers start?
Yeah, KJ Chisholm. I was there the night he broke his nose, as a matter of fact.
Ooh.
And they didn't have a trainer, so Adam Kinlock had to treat
Oh
him.
no! Did they reset it for him? I've broken my nose before. Did they like actually get it back in line for him so he wouldn't look like Owen Wilson?
I mean, they took him. I'm sure they took him to the hospital after, but like he
Yeah.
had to treat him immediately, and he was just gushing
Yeah.
blood. And then he came back with it. But yeah, he seems to. He doesn't seem to have a crooked nose. He seems to still have his same pretty nose.
He's a handsome man.
Yeah, it was good times. But yeah, that was rough. That was rough. So when KJ broke his
I used to
nose.
save on that, JJ. Way to know your kids.
Yeah, I knew exactly who he was talking about. KJ Chisholm. I was looking up these PHA scores that Stricklander posted. Boys got the dub, girls got the dub. Boys did not against St. John's Christian. Okay, St. John's Christian's pretty good.
Yep.
74-47 over Patrick Henry, and that's in Preps region, right? So
Yes, it is.
maybe we don't crown them just yet. Not just yet.
Clutching my pearls. Woo.
I mean, at the end, if they do, you can say who we thought they were, and you can. But
Dennis Green, thank you. I love that.
Big no can do, Cracker Jack.
Oh man.
Oh, my computer will die soon. But we still have boys highlights from Buford's Zone that we got to check out because Battery Creek Boys is on fire.
Oh yeah.
They
are
keep
still
rolling,
on
man.
fire.
That team keeps rolling.
Players. Gonzalez
All right,
crosses,
Javon.
finds Fields in the corner. Back to Evans.
Corner three.
To Evans. Layup.
Nope.
Good.
You mentioned it before, some rumblings about being competitive inside of practice, like
Three.
you mentioned, going to Well Branch and, being closer to the players and being able to hear the things that they're talking about, hearing what's going on. Right,
Yep.
cut it up to
Oh, what a
Layup by
move.
Williams is good. Evans under, blocked by Willis. Kevin Jenkins tries to get the board, but Cox able to wrestle it away from him. Smith bringing the ball up court. Their facilitator pass to Williams. Nice Pinoy step and a good. And Jenkins calling for the ball. He drives into the paint. Tries to find Evans. Good defense there by Battery Creek. Gonzalez fakes the pull-up three. Loses possession. Spin move by Gonzalez. Layup. Good.
How did he get that? My God.
Javon tells us get ready for dunk time.
Okay.
To go inside the basket, and he gets one to go right there.
Sounds good to me.
Cox for three.
Yes, sir.
Shooting threes now.
Gonzalez is the guy, he makes a
Oh,
move
no.
there with the size.
These
for them,
guys
but
are
he's gonna
good.
match up with that monster, Ethan Cox. He's going to have to outscore him.
11
Ethan
and a half
Cox was
points per game
playing
for Ethan Cox.
inside
Tied for
last
first.
year
Kevin
as
Jenkins, a tough bucket.
young dude who I thought had a ton of potential. If
Tyree
he's
Smith
shooting
bringing it
threes
about
now,
the
that
court. Euro step
there he
pass
is
to
again.
Cox. Another three. Just
good
off rebound.
Big
Isaiah
Tot.
Evans stolen by Kevin
I love
Willis.
to watch Big Tots play
Back to
basketball, just like I
Williams,
love to
and
watch
he's good.
Vegas
And
Kaplan
the
play
foul.
basketball.
Yeah.
He's gonna
I love to
slow
watch
the
a
pace
big back
down,
play basketball.
bringing the ball up court.
Isaiah Evans is a lot of fun to watch. He has really good feet. It's
Great
about
feet.
stamina.
And Smith layup.
He'll be
foul,
playing at
and
South
the
Carolina State
bucket.
on a football field next year.
Yes, sir. Go get it, bud. I mean, that's a good school. Congratulations,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Evans. Well done.
Going to be playing in the
South Carolina
Celebration
State
Bowl.
going to
soon.
play at the HBCU National
stolen by
Championship
Willis.
game.
That's right.
Yeah,
There it is.
Celebration Bowl.
Ooh,
Man, what a
Willis
I
on
believe
the
it's
hair.
tomorrow.
Stolen by
Yeah.
Willis.
Dunk.
Oh, Dunk City.
Dunk time.
I'm guessing that, Kevin,
lane, tries
that
to put it
you,
up,
like
blocked
me,
by
can't
Cox.
think about Kelvin Willis or
Mo
Battery Creek
Evans
without thinking of
in
Kevin
the
Willis.
lane, tries to put it up,
NBA,
blocked by
90s
Cox.
NBA lore.
Momentum creep.
I mean,
If I
anyone
have
named
ever
Kevin is
seen
going to be
it.
after my heart. And
Now
yes,
pass
sir,
to
I appreciate it big.
Simmons three. Good.
Ooh,
Simmons three.
Lineup creep.
By the way,
Javon,
South
we-
Carolina,
Dunks.
Rivers here
Dunks.
controlling point. Trying to make some
While we got him in the house, Javon, man, like these are really fun calls. Hanging out with you as your audience,
Good.
He's
a
awesome.
good time.
Yeah, we need to get him on the show sometimes when he can because that's
Man, that
he
man
knows
resting
as
after
well. I
this.
appreciate what he does.
Smith to Simmons. Simmons to
That man
I'm always
don't wanna
happy to
be
dip if he's
talking
coming
about
on.
by Jenkins, taking Smith.
And
Smith to
I've been able to
Simmons,
work
Simmons
with a
to
bunch.
Cox.
Really,
Cox
really
gets
enjoy
hacked
those times
by
being able to do that. And
Jenkins. Gonzalez
the
on the
range,
rebound.
all the
Outlet to
sports that he
Broxton.
covers and does the
Broxton,
broadcasting for,
layup
it's awesome.
good.
It's great work.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
no
And the
stopping
first
Buford's
point
zone.
that Well Branch has had
Nice.
in a while.
Can't stop,
Smith
won't
now
stop.
bringing the ball up
I
court.
love that
This is a
half court
question
spread.
right
Drives into
now
his
from
spot, finds
Battery
Williams.
Creek.
Williams three.
Three.
Banks it.
Wow, nice
Oh,
shot. That's how you beat that. Nice shot.
And they are playing good ball. They are playing good ball.
But the
They're
team
so good.
defense.
They look
yeah,
so
they're
good.
so-
And remember last year, Elijah Mathis
Finds
was
Williams. Williams.
easily their best
3 minutes
player,
to
and
Cox.
he's graduated
Cox in
and
the
playing
post,
in
good.
college, and they're
And he's
much better.
Cox in the post,
Like,
good.
that says a lot about the
Yeah.
Money
development
from
that
there.
Cedar's doing over there.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
just backing
agreed.
out, shooting over a defender. You know,
Am I
usually
right that
people
Branch
go
looks
coast
well
to coast,
coached? It's
and
just a
then
talent
they
issue?
lose the defender to make the shot. Being able to coast over defenders is a
Well,
great skill.
they're definitely
And
well coached. I
top
mean,
of
Faber's a coach.
Jenkins able to clean it up there for two.
I think they're a little down in talent, but
Simmons opening the
also
corner, drives in,
they're
layup, no good.
Creek's really
Rebound,
good.
Cox.
For one.
Right.
Creek
That's
Cox
part of
really
puts
it.
it up good.
But
Through
for Well Branch,
contact
I think
is Cox.
Faber's teams often take a little time to kind of get it.
Mhm.
You know, like
I guess we could call it
and
prime time
to get in
games
the shape
right
they need
now.
to be in because
It
they want
looks
to play
fine.
this
He's
for
been
40
Foul
minutes
and
of
the
hell.
bucket by
Yep.
Broxton. Sorry to cut.
And there's always going to be teams that are just tough matchups for them.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
Simmons
teams that are organized and
gonna
take care of
try
the ball and run the half
take
court
his time
will
on the
drive
field,
them
passes
crazy.
it to Avila.
Mhm.
Always.
Three good.
I mean, look at
Teams
that.
that don't have good handlers and they can turn them over and get easy buckets.
They'll dominate.
Yeah, they'll just
Brown
eat them
finds
alive.
Gonzalez fakes the
So it's a
pass.
lot about the matchups, but I
Finds
think
Jenkins.
also he doesn't
Jenkins for two.
necessarily have
Gets it to go.
the
Yes,
type
sir.
of
Through the lane,
personnel
finds Fields
that
for
works
three.
best
Fields.
for what he does
No
right
Like,
now.
Will-
He's got bigs that
Rebound
don't
wrestled
really
out by
necessarily
Freeman.
fit it and
Down
Right.
court pass
That's
to
not as
true.
Powers.
long in the
Powers to
backcourt as he'd
Rivers.
like to be
Rivers,
and
good to
things like
go.
that.
Well Branch is taking bad shots and playing great defense. That's what I'm seeing.
Battery Creek's just been dominating here, the team so far locally here.
Just jacking it
Brown for
up.
three, no good. Rebound, Jenkins.
No
Jenkins
offense.
to
Oh,
Gonzalez.
Nice
that's
pass though.
what?
Yeah, look at that in a roll.
Eddie.
How that? Oh,
Yeah, what a
Oh.
move.
So
Eddie.
rebound here from Battery.
Eddie's a
Powers,
guard and a
Powers
forward
three.
body, bro.
Yeah.
No good.
He's got great feet. He can
Gonzalez
shoot
able
it.
to get the rebound. Down court to
That's
Davis.
good
move,
Layup
man.
blocked
Transition.
by
Wow.
Whoa.
Rebound
That was
Fields.
sick.
Fields pushes it to Jenkins. Jenkins layup. No
Ooh,
good.
no
Not
Nice
enough
block.
touch.
No call.
Willis down court to
Oh,
what a
what a
pass.
look.
Layup.
it's all right.
Foul.
It's all right. Crowd like that
What a
play.
look. Full court.
Williams
That's nice.
tries to find Cox in the paint, but his pick.
Look at. I mean, Branch plays great defense.
They do.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Offense, man.
That's kind of the hallmark.
Williams layup good.
Oh,
Willis is moving
But they have to
along
get
to his
a lot of their
advantage. He's
offense off
already
their defense.
6'3".
I
Yeah.
called a Link Lyles Well Branch team once against Ridgeland Hardyville back in the day, where I think I had there might have been more than 10 dunks. The whole game was above the rim. The amount of talent in this region is truly exceptional. And if you get a decent, I'm not even a decent. Link Lyles, in my opinion, was an excellent coach. And if you get excellent coaching around high talent, you can really see how far it can go. And that's kind of the fun of this thing locally. It's not like the talent isn't here. It's about organizing it and getting to a place where people buy in together and actually play team
Correct.
ball. Yeah.
We
You
have
can win if you play together.
one of talented individuals,
Yes.
but they have to play together as a
Look at Samari Bonds.
absolutely.
Stolen by Whale Branch.
Like if he had a team behind him and the ability to lead, I'm not trying to say Samari's not a great leader. What I'm saying is if he could be the leader of the basketball team and have team,
right.
and it's not to say it's not possible, but now he's a senior, but it is still within the realm of possibility that one of the best athletes in the area, Samari Bonds, could get 4 or 5 guys around him and know how to set back screens, move off the, get him shots off the ball so he's not having to do everything.
Right.
I understand his point guard's hurt, but I'm saying if you get great coaching and there's an opportunity there, I love Huff, but they need to learn how to play offense together, and the way you do that is you get buy-in from your captain.
Amen. That's where we are right now. We need buy-in and
leadership
right now.
I
We
kinda-
got individual talent, but it's not adding up.
You know, it's funny. Javon keeps saying put Eddie at the point position. I kind of agree with him.
I mean,
He's probably the
he's a
best
distributor.
for me.
Yeah,
That was
he's
beautiful.
trying to put the best players in those
Eddie,
best
for me-
situations to win games, and if he's
Yeah.
the ball distributor, that guy you want passing the ball and having that vision, that's what you want to see.
I mean, he essentially played a guard position in BA.
Right.
Because he grew up there, they knew what he was.
Right.
And he also wasn't as big, you know, like he's grown. He's grown into a guard on the football field now.
Yeah.
But I mean, he is what he is, no matter the package, and that man's a guard.
Look how effective this defense is. You got burned on that
Yeah,
one.
and they're still figuring it out. I'm telling you, they're not totally in sync yet. Like when Faber really gets them in sync on defense, they're a problem. His teams are always a problem. Look at that look.
That fine, my goodness.
That's why Javon's making the case right there.
Yeah, he's absolutely right.
Move that ball
Yeah,
around.
he's so good.
He sees the court.
Yeah.
He's so good.
But can you imagine like how these teams look so different in another month?
Yeah,
Oh,
In
yeah.
terms of possession.
On the other end, he is a
Well, that's what I love
prolific
about
passer.
Williams up for the layup.
Such a difference when you have
You
a
play each
point
other
scorer
two or
like
three
that on
times
your side.
over the course of a season.
Like, imagine if Whale Branch had shot selection in this game. You think it'll be a 12-point game?
Yeah, they could benefit from just a touch of patience.
Look at that. Yes,
Go
sir.
for it. Oh, come on. Go for the dunk, man.
Throw it down, Biggie.
Throw it down. You're wide open. You got it.
Good job getting the points, sir. Forget the dunks. Get them points. The game.
Nah,
Yeah, exactly.
go for it.
Ethan Cox, I knew last year I could see it in him. He was young and body was still a little soft, you know, because he was young. And you're like, oh man, when that man grows up and fills out, he is a problem. Now he's developing some skill away from the basket. This team's going to be good for a while.
That's a great half-court press. If only on offense their pants weren't on fire.
You know, that was kind of in, you know, with the Bluffton Hillnet prep game this past Saturday. I would have loved to have seen Bluffton use the half-court press against prep because it kind of was working for them in that second half. You know, if they were able to make shots and do that half-court press, it could have been a game against prep.
No foul call. Smith with a putback good.
I love Javon is so nice to the officials, but anytime he calls somebody out, it's because it's true. Very selective.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. If I can call out that this is actually a very well officiated game, watching these Skiza games where guys don't know how to run a 3-man rotation drives me insane. Because all they do is they make their calls out of position. It's not that it's the wrong call. It's just that you're out of position. And it makes me insane.
Yes.
Nice finish.
Yeah, I mean, me and Wes kind of saw that a little bit last Saturday at prep with the boys game. There are a couple calls that we were just like, where did that come from?
Yeah, fishing can be sometimes. And
it's a difficult thing to do, but
fishing is not easy, especially at this
sir.
level. No doubt about that.
It's one of those jobs, if they're paying attention to you, you're doing a bad job.
Right. Yeah. If I noticed who the refs were tonight, it's not a good thing.
Right.
If I have a nickname for you as a ref, that's probably not a great thing either.
Yeah, exactly. Brett Macy used to call me out by name.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Brett Macy was like, as a coach, as a basketball coach.
That was always
the worst. Brett Macy is very hard on
TV Teddy Valentine.
TV Teddy.
Looking for some openings. Stolen by Watson.
I was calling the Bluffton Christmas tournament one year, and there's a call you do at the C position calling the foul line, where if someone has a lane violation, it's a delayed whistle, right? So I got a lane violation against the opposing team to Bluffton, and if the ball goes in, you just drop the win. It's the play on, right? So Brett sees the lane violation, stares at me straight across. I'm sorry, I'm talking over a great shot here. Stares at me straight across and just goes, Kevin! Like, yeah, Brett, I got you, pal. You made the shot. We're moving on. But what was to call one of his games was to be personally embarrassed. Not to be personally embarrassed is Javon Livingston, who just delivered an amazing program. That was fun.
Indeed.
He
So
does.
yeah, he's got all
on.
kinds of thoughts. Yeah, he says Eddie needs to be the starting point guard. I'm dying on that hill. Creek only losing one starting senior is what is exciting for sure. Yep, that's more about Eddie. And what you don't see in those highlights is the dimes and no-look passes that led to missed open shots. Eddie.
Yeah. Respect for
I
that.
agree, man. I'm with you on that. Free Eddie. Hashtag free Eddie.
Hashtag free Eddie. Yes, I love it.
What else we
Nice job,
got? I
Javon.
don't know what else we got. I don't really have other scores. I know they happened, but I don't know like the Hampton Ridgeland scores yet. I'll have to track those down tonight. It's getting too late for all that. But we'll be back Monday night, so we'll talk about it then. But we've got our Lowco Booster Club. They support us, so please support them if you have the occasion. Court Lifestyle Pros, Daniel and Debbie Court with Charter One Realty. They want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel they'd love to set you up with so you can promote your business or your team. They can do a team shop over at Eagle Creations. Go check them out on Origin Boulevard. See what they can do for you. Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. Go in for some great conversation and come out looking stylish at Jay's Barbershop and then turn left or right for tacos. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country. Floor so clean, your feet will thank you. Hudson Seafood House on the docks, great place for seafood, sunsets, and cocktails, and presenting sponsor of Under the Bus. Had a great episode this week with Curry Kirkpatrick making his return. Hurricane Sports Cafe. He's still in Maui, but he's back on the show. And Hurricane Sports Cafe, the place to be in Hampton. If you're hungry or thirsty, stop in and say hi from the guys at Lowco. Gonzalez for PG. Picket signs going on sale at Buford's Own. All right, boys. Parting thoughts, and I see that Max has a uniform for us. You want to lead us?
Yes.
I got a few.
All right,
got one
first,
last? You got
Max,
one
what you got?
Oh, you got Max first. All right, Max, you're first. We're
All
defining.
right, cool. I got four. I got four today.
4 uniforms. All right.
Yeah. Jacksonville.
Max's Uni-Watch. Dun, dun, dun.
Jacksonville is bringing back these throwbacks on.
Yeah, man.
I
Look
like
at
that.
Matt
those.
Brunell.
I love
But
those.
he ain't going to be wearing it, is he?
He will not be. He's done for the year,
His
as far
brain's
as I know. I hear he's done for the year. That hit pretty much took him out for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Gross hit.
Dumbest play ever. Anyway, so cool uniforms. I love those. But this
Those are nice.
Saturday, Army and Navy. We showed these a few weeks back. These are the Army uniforms.
Army.
Yes. You really should say "Go Army," but hey, or beat
It's
Navy.
the exclamation mark that throws me.
Yeah.
Stay, Army. Stay.
Army.
Anyway, these are Navy's uniforms.
Those
Look
are
at
sick.
Nice.
Those are cool.
Nice.
I love
Those
those.
are sick.
And it's gonna be a great game. These two teams at one point were both ranked at the same time. Army, I believe, is still ranked.
Yeah, they
and we're
finished in
looking
top
at one
25
point.
in the
At one
playoff.
point, they were looking for that group of 5 bid. Of course, that group of 5 bid went to Boise State, but Army won their first ever American Athletic Conference Championship this past Saturday. So, congrats to Army
should have been the
for
CFP.
winning that. Those are the Navy uniforms, and then finally, I have a basketball uniform, or actually a basketball uniform for the boys and women's of the University of South Florida with their bright neon green Tampa Bay uniform.
Yeah, man.
How cool! Those look cool. I love those.
They're gonna play the game in the dark under green light because that
would be cool.
Under black
That would
light,
be
that'd be
sick.
dope.
Yep.
That would be sick. Make that basketball glow, maybe.
Yes, glow in the dark.
Like glowing basketball, that would be fun.
Bright green basketball and some hoops with lights behind it, so you know where you're shooting. That'd
Like
be
the
cool.
glowing puck they had.
Look like Tron.
Javon said Army should have been in the CFP. Well, no, because Boise State was better than them, and
I did have a variation of my 16-team playoff where
but
where I
yeah,
gave
only
one
the
of
top
the-
5 conference.
where I gave a
champions,
second
Boise State, Arizona.
Power
Yeah.
5. or
I would have
Virginia
given it
last
to
year.
Army, but Army lost. Didn't who
Yeah,
did Army
no,
lose to Notre Dame,
Boise
didn't
State,
they?
Arizona State, and Clemson. They were the last of the conference champions to automatically qualify.
Army would have had to go in over SMU, which would have been.
Well,
Yeah,
but Army would have also had to have gone in over Boise State too,
right.
wouldn't
Yeah,
Well, but I meant,
because they right.
I
You
meant
have to
because
have,
Boise State was ahead of them.
They were not
their
gonna.
only path was at large.
They only would have gotten as a conference champion. By the way, you mentioned Army Navy. There's another big college football game, and it has a lot of Loco ties because tomorrow at noon, it's the Celebration Bowl.
Is
The
that
HBCU
tomorrow?
National Championship between Jackson State and South Carolina State. And boy, do we have some Loco representation.
All right.
Oh, boy,
by the way, Kirk Herbstreit called out Irv Mulligan the other day on the College Game Day show when they were debating about the conference championship games. Called him out. Love that. Loco boy. But yeah, that's going to be really fun to watch. Both of those teams have been fantastic this year. So to see South Carolina State and Jackson State going at it with a bunch of Loco talent on both sides of the ball, it's going to be really fun to watch. And, I will definitely be watching that, sitting in my office at Beaufort County Parks and Rec.
Yeah, it would have been great to have made the trip to Atlanta, but yeah, you know, it's hard to be everywhere. But hey, definitely we'll be tuning in on at noon tomorrow. That'll be a ton of fun. I do have another parting thought if I pulled up here. My man Ian Kelly just got an offer from the University of West Georgia. And great to see that he's been a standing kicker and punter, special teams guy, and he's had a interesting, inspirational story with I believe something to do with losing his father.
Yeah, his dad passed.
Just
is that his first offer, or is that like one of multiple offers that he's been given?
I'm not positive about that. That may be his first.
Okay, so hopefully there's a lot more to come after that one. But that's a great thing to see him getting some recognition and having teams actually looking at him and saying, "Yeah, this kid is something special," and he truly is. And that kid's got a rocket for a leg, man. That dude.
Well, more than any other position in football, it really does not matter where you are doing it. You just got to keep doing it.
And he's good at that. He's good at what he does, man.
They don't draft you based on where you went to college. When you're talking about
this will be
pure metrics.
Great to see him getting recognition, but this will be the first, in my mind, of many different schools to offer him a chance to play at the next level, I believe.
Well, I mean, I suspect it's probably really hard to get offers as a high school punter kicker right now because
it is very hard. Tucker TV Paw, man, had it was tough for TV Paw to get people looking at him, and then finally the schools started showing up, and of course he ended up going to Miami.
Well, I mean, most college coaches don't believe in giving scholarships to kickers and punters. They don't believe in that. So you to get an offer means something, and if you get a chance to go do it somewhere, there's that portal, man. There is major upward mobility for kickers in that portal right now.
Yeah,
so,
there is.
I think it's the story is far from written on Ian Kelly. He's got a big leg and a big heart, and
Whale Branch, Javon Livingston, Whale Branch got jersey retirement.
I popped that up a while ago. He said Big Irv needs to get that jersey retired, no doubt about it.
He does, fully, 100%.
But another jersey retirement because they already retired D's. Did they retire Pinkney's? I don't know if they retired his.
He's in the league. Gotta.
Yeah. So
they got a couple more.
And then KJ, just watch KJ coming too. KJ's
coming. Yeah.
He's getting some valuable playing time at Jackson State as a freshman, and he's going to be a big factor there before it's all said and done too, and may end up in that portal. See, all these Whale Branch guys, the beauty of it is almost every one of them that's made it to the league or to the next level has gotten a degree and then gone somewhere as a graduate transfer.
Yes, sir.
And they're able to do that because at Whale Branch, they're getting a lot of dual enrollment credit.
Yeah,
And they go in there and they're able to get that degree in 3 years, have
That's
2 eligibility
exactly
left.
right. And that's
and
what
go
you
get a
want to.
graduate degree.
That's what you want to see in high school. I think dual enrollment is a great thing to have as a high school student.
Absolutely.
yeah, and
Unfortunately,
it's very
especially
rarely
at our
available now.
rural
Of course,
schools.
Wellbridge and other high schools, you have the opportunity to enroll in any college class in high school.
Yeah.
As a high school student,
And
enroll in a college
unfortunately,
class.
Yeah, we got it at the Ville.
unfortunately
even.
for me,
Yeah.
unfortunately for me at Christian Academy at the time that I was in school, it wasn't even available. It wasn't even an option at
Yeah.
Christian Academy.
Same
So,
here. But I
if
miss
that
it.
was an option back in the day, I would have taken it as best as I could,
Yeah.
so that
I
I could.
took summer classes at the community college because we didn't have dual enrollment.
Yeah.
So I got a few credits out of the way. My mom was in community college, so I took classes with her over the summer and
Nice.
got some credits.
Yeah.
But yeah, dual enrollment, kids. Get on that dual enrollment. You save yourself
worth it.
thousands upon thousands of
Yes.
dollars.
Worth
by
it.
getting those
Any money you
credits.
can save is
And if you're an athlete, again, you
Yeah.
get 5 years. So if you can get your undergraduate in 3 years and
3
be in the
years, yeah.
transfer portal with 2 years of eligibility to go get a graduate degree on the house, that is the move, folks. That is the move.
Yeah.
Because sports do end, no matter how good you are. Father Time is undefeated. It gets
And that
everybody.
has been academic talks with the crew here at LowcoSports.
Javon has a request. Wes, can you sing Soft Kitty? You familiar with the song?
Soft
I'm
Kitty?
blanking on it. Soft
Soft
Kitty.
kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur.
I've never heard that
Kitty,
song.
warm kitty, purr, purr, purr. There you go, Javon. Night, night, buddy. Night, night.
Sweet dreams. Hopefully.
That's from the Big Bang Theory, which I'm not a avid viewer of, but my family is a big fan, especially of Soft Kitty. So I've heard it many, many times. My family back in Kansas, not my immediate family here. All right, parting thoughts, Kevin Libby, you got one?
3 points. 1, it upsets me that in the Army-Navy game, Navy wears pirates on their jerseys. We don't support pirateering, except in the battle for New Orleans, when Andrew Jackson defeated the French. Was the French? Is that right? Or the British? I can't remember. Anyways, Battle of New Orleans. We paid pirateers to beat, I believe, the British Navy. And Andrew Jackson had dysentery, which meant he was pooping all over his horse. And he won the Battle of New Orleans, and he won the presidency, first Democrat president. Second point, we talked about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Fun story. Does anyone know why they're called the Fighting Irish?
I do not.
All right. In 1924, a full
Racism?
100. You're correct, sir. Yes, you are a winner. So,
right.
In 1924, the KKK attempted to have a march in South Bend, Indiana. And what did the young men of Notre Dame have to think about that? Well, they arrived at the rally, they put up their dukes, and they ripped the hoods off of these cloaked people. They took pictures of themselves in the garb, and the point is they punched racists in the face. And that's how they get the moniker the Fighting Irish. So you can have all your feelings. Yeah. I know it's a kind of stereotypical Irish-looking fighting person in the old, whatever. But that leprechaun's not going anywhere because F the KKK, because the Catholics can punch him in the face. That's history, baby.
Yeah, man. Never a bad time to punch a racist or a Nazi in the face, as far as I'm concerned.
Kids, the closest distance between you and a punch to the face is being extremely racist. Third point.
Amen to that. Any other parting thoughts, gentlemen?
Last one, please.
Yes.
Can I read the email I got from the girl that works for the Patriots?
Yes, you may. I've already read this email.
Alex Francisco works in media for the Pats. I wrote her and said, as someone that works for the Patriots, what's the biggest elephant in the room that you can't call out or understand until you're actually in the room? Like, what's the elephant you see when you're working in professional sports media? She says, I'm going to be honest with you, the biggest surprise was to learn about how to leverage search engine optimization and thus the motives that drive sports narratives. What I mean to say is that, not to be a bee, it was shocking to see how many hacks are out there on Twitter or aggregating behind random news outlets who actually have the ability to sway opinion with no credibility themselves because they rarely read beyond the headlines. She said, I don't mean to be dystopian, but I feel like the pendulum is actually swinging back the other way, which means us, you guys. But getting clicks by any means was the name of the game when I was coming up. When you're in it every day, you see that most of the drama was overblown and not that serious. And if you're well prepared, you can rise above the BS and find the intelligent audiences you actually want. So to Javon Livingston, to the kids getting all worked up out there about us having disparaging, not even disparaging, we're your fans, but to the kids out there that are actually engaging on media with us, you're the audience we want. And I just want to say that we can all get here one day, boys, and I just love being on this with you. It's a lot of fun, and we will have our time to shine soon enough.
Oh yeah, bro. Good stuff. Good stuff. JP2 asking us if we're going to be there Monday. I don't know who they play Monday.
Take a look at the schedule right now. Monday we got a pretty sizable slate. JP2, don't see them.
I don't have them on there. Oh, they're at Bethesda on Monday.
Okay.
No,
by the way, yeah, tomorrow we've got some interesting ones. I mentioned Whale Branch at Bluffton. So that one should be entertaining. The girls game, especially the guys game as well. And then matinee at Bridges Prep, right back at you, taking on May River. Now it says here it's a 6:00 game. It's actually like a 1:15 start at Bridges.
Okay. All right.
And then Beaufort Battery Creek, Hilton Head hosting Benedictine. Of course, that's just a boys game. And then Patrick Henry, Andrew Jackson. We got some wrestling as well tomorrow.
Sure, wrestling.
Yeah, Bluffton County, the Rebel Invitational. We got the Red Fox Rumble.
Actually, Red Fox got started tonight.
Okay, so yeah, second day of that. Yep, that's true. Yep. So they did the Rebel Invitational as well. And then Beaufort is at the OW Invitational. And JP2 in Northwood. So yeah, a lot of wrestling to recap as well. Whenever we do a grind this weekend or on Monday, it's go time for wrestling. It's exciting.
I think we'll plan on grinding Sunday night. It's a good time for it.
Love it.
So after the rewind, Sand Truck Rewind. Well, actually, we're off on Sand Truck Rewind this week, so we can bump back the grind a little earlier.
Yeah, we can go earlier on the grind if you want.
Bump back the grind.
The Red Fox Rumble. But yeah, it's already underway. So I'll be checking out who won and lost tonight, probably.
Good times.
No team scores yet? Why not? You got matches. Says no team scores, but I don't understand why, because we got matches been wrestled. Stevenson's out to the quarters for Hilton Head. He's an animal. Where's Folks?
Manimal.
Folks not in there? Oh, May River's not there. Never mind. Hilton Head and Bridges are at the they're at the Hartsville Red Fox Rumble. Bluffton's at the Effingham County Rebel Invitational, and Battery Creek's at the Cardinal Newman Holiday Classic. So got a lot of good wrestling going on this weekend. Classic. All right, boys. I got the weekend off. I'm looking forward to, actually being able to catch up on some stuff, including sleep. But we'll be back Sunday night. We'll do the Lowco grind. We'll be back Monday night. We'll do the Lowco Sports Lowdown. We'll see who.
Do you have any parting thoughts, JJ? I want to know your parting thoughts.
I guess I don't really have any.
How did it feel to be you today?
Nice. It's nice to kick back and be a dad, and have a nice weekend. I know. I mean, you get to be a dad when you're doing your weekend trips, but hey, it's nice to kick back and get some stuff done and have enjoyable weekend.
I'm not dadding my kids. I'm dadding other kids. I'm full-time dadding.
But yeah, no, it's nice to be a full-time dad of
every waking hour.
Yeah,
trying to be a dad, making dad jokes. No, I don't know. You guys kind of covered all the parting thoughts that I might have had tonight. So don't have much else except I guess to just say that if you're getting after it every day, if you're grinding, just keep your head down, keep grinding. It's gonna work out. It's gonna be as good as it can be if you give as good as you can give.
Oh,
and if you're not, it's time to self-reflect and ask, are you giving the most not only for yourself but for your team, for your teammates. And if not, then try to be better tomorrow. That's all you can do. Get a little bit better every day. And
I do
the
have
sky's
one
the
more.
limit.
Yeah, I do have one more thing.
All right.
I don't know if you fellas saw this morning. News broke out about if you remember, Randy Moss was not feeling too great on television for the past few days. Found out this morning that he has been battling cancer for the last few months. He is still getting treatment for cancer, as far as I know. He's still doing some chemo and radiation rounds of radiation and chemo therapy.
He just said today that he's out of the hospital, from what I saw.
Yeah, he's out of the hospital. So I think people were wondering what was going on with him because he did not look great. I believe it was the last Sunday NFL countdown on Sunday morning. And so people were kind of wondering what was going on with him. And he had mentioned he had been dealing with some health issues and found out today that he decided to share with everyone that he had been battling cancer. As of right now, he's still battling cancer, but they said he's out of the thick of it. So that's a great sign to see for Mr. Randy Moss, and our best wishes for him and his family as they go through this challenging time, which is never easy for anyone. But it's a good sign to see that he's getting out of it. He's getting towards the end of his journey through battling cancer. So it's a great sign to see. So hopefully he will be completely cancer free sooner rather than later. So I forgot to mention that earlier, but yeah.
Much love. Well, much love to Randy Moss. All-time great. I do have one other parting thought. The Chicago Cubs have given me a glimmer of hope for 2025 by securing a franchise-type player for 1 year and hopefully longer with Kyle Tucker coming over from Houston.
Yes,
hit a lot of home runs in them baskets. I'm looking forward to it. You got him, you got Seiya Suzuki, Roman outfield. That's starting to look pretty good. You got the Horner and Swanson up the middle is nice. So pieces are coming together. I'm hoping maybe
my Braves,
I hope they can sign Tucker long term.
My Braves didn't do
He's got one of the sweetest
thing during the winter meetings. My Braves did absolutely nothing during winter meetings this year. Absolutely nothing.
Well, I'm feeling pretty good about the Red Sox and the fact that they just got Garrett Crochet. I think there's a lot of upside with the still emerging young guy. I mean, he put on a show last year, but I think he can even be better and be that prolific ace. And we'll see if the Red Sox can add any more pieces. But it was great. What's so funny?
I called him a masshole.
I was completely. Okay.
Yeah, you were talking. Sorry, man.
Sorry, no, I was just talking about man. I'm looking forward to seeing what they will do with the Red Sox.
Yeah, Red Sox are gonna look.
It's great to see them moving in the right direction, and I think Craig Breslow is doing some good things for that organization. After there was some, obviously they were in on some other guys. Max Fried, of course, going to the Yankees. It was good for the Red Sox to find a way to acquire someone who I think could be a mainstay over the next few years, and someone who has that kind of ace potential going forward. So I like the addition to the rotation, and you still have. I mean, obviously, you'd love to see Giolito, to see that guy become healthy again, because someone who was not available for the past year. So Giolito coming back will be huge, and you still have guys like Tanner Houck, who's been okay, but and has potential for more. He's been solid. So I'm intrigued about that rotation. I still think they need a little bit more help. I think you'd love one more guy to anchor it, but we'll see if they can grab the piece. They're still in talks with some other guys. We'll see how that goes moving forward. But yeah, a lot of dominoes falling. But I do have one more thing. I know this was tracking on, but some more scores that we hadn't gotten to in terms of the high school league football champions, weekend of champions. Clinton, your winners in 2A, they beat Barnwell 35-6. These are scores from Thursday. The other game from that day
was Abbeville 58 and Cross 20. So my prediction did not hold true. Abbeville rolls over the Cross Trojans and gets the 1A state title. And then we mentioned, of course, the Donnybrook. That was the South Florence Bruins. They win it 42-41 over West Side. Absolutely crazy game.
Wow.
And absolutely insane. South Florence getting it done in a wild one over a West Side team that I thought right now looked like it was a foregone conclusion that they
That's
were
the only one
gonna,
I missed on so far.
But came down to a 2-point conversion, and South Florence got the stop. It looks like. So
Dutch Fork with the 35-21 win over Somerville.
Yep. Dutch Fork is community powerhouse, and still 2 more games to look forward to tomorrow on before we wrap up the high school football season. Besides the the All-Star games and such, but yeah, I mean that South Florence score definitely sticks out because I was not expecting them to beat a West Side team that everyone was chasing this year. I mean, and you said it. You said on this podcast, everybody's playing for second place. Nobody's.
Man, I thought so. I thought West What was untouchable. I really did. South Florence.
I did too.
South Florence is legit. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I was gonna say, and that Dutch Fork. This is just for perspective, okay? If you watch that Dutch Fork game, they got a kid number 17, Boykin Bickley, had 7 catches for 149 and 2 touchdowns, and looked like an absolute monster all over the field against a really good Somerville team. So I went looking like, oh man, who's he got offers from? Dude, it's all D2. Like,
really,
I just think kids need to understand the way this new landscape is. Like, D1 is like it's rare. It's going to be rare for kids to go from high school to D1. They're going to have to be the whole package. And I mean, they're raising the standards. Like everybody who's asked me about recruits from this area says they have to have at least a 3.0 or we're not even going to look at them. I mean, it's just the standards have been raised by the new landscape to the point that coming out of high school, you're going to have to fight for whatever opportunity you can get. And if it's not a great situation, you're going to have to get in that portal and go looking elsewhere. But it's a different world now.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing for that to fight your way through it.
It's not.
You got to earn what you.
It's just we got to get rid of this D1 or bust mentality because it's not a reality anymore for most kids. It never was a reality for most kids. It was a reality for a tiny fragment of kids,
right?
But it's an even smaller fragment now.
Yeah, it is. I'm surprised that because I was watching some of that Dutch Fork game, and yeah, you're right. That kid
you saw him, right? 17.
That kid was, yeah.
That guy's every bit of Carnell, bro.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's legit.
It's different. Yeah,
it's crazy to me that he doesn't have D1 offers. So
because
look around and put it in perspective. Like the world's big.
Because Cardell's got a couple D1 offers on the table, so yeah, it's a little shocking, but that's what it is.
But that's a testament to the fact that he's got the other elements going on too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not getting the D1 offers right now unless you got the whole package. That's
right.
kind of so if you're skipping class or not doing what you're supposed to be doing, guess what? You're signing your death warrant as far as
absolutely.
Opportunity.
Absolutely.
Take care of it all. All right, that's good enough, boys. We did hour and 43, rivaling Marcus Walsh for the length on this thing. But great show tonight. Enjoyed it with you boys. It's always fun. Thanks to the guys from JP2, Rasness in the comments. That's fun. Do it over on the StreamYard though. I don't like having to go over to Instagram to check the comments and then they disappear when I in the video. Do it over here. But thanks to everybody who jumped in tonight. Thanks to Buford for what they do, providing us content every night. We're able to be at 2 games that we're not at. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks to everybody who's part of the sandbox, the Lowco sandbox. It's so much fun, and I enjoy doing it, and I know folks enjoy knowing what's going on. So we'll see you Sunday night for the Lowco Grind, Monday night for the Lowco Sports Lowdown. For Max Araj, Wes Kerr, Kevin Libby, and the Kitty, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till next time, go Lowco. The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.